So we're on a BMW GS right now. So you can see here everything's kind of different from what you'll see if you take your seat off. I think for most R-Link customers who don't have any customizations on the rear subframe of your GS, could really focus on up here. Ignore this, this is my heated seat. You could actually really just link the R-Link right here, and then you could bring the GPS bit back here on top of where your subframe usually is, and then kind of mount it right there underneath, right next to where the pillion seat goes. Also, if you look closely right here, this is my posi tap. This is going into a red and blue connector. That's the red and blue connector you're going to want to use. This is the brake light, the switch brake light connector. So that's right there. I'm already utilizing that for my PDM60 back here, which is going to be my power source for this whole operation. So unfortunately, this install is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to, but almost the same. In your situation, you're going to remove the battery cover down here with a T25. It's down there somewhere. You're going to hook in the positive and negative leads. You're going to run the lining up underneath your ECU. Sorry, I hope you can see this. You're going to run the lining up here under your ECU, right, coming out here with this homemade wiring harnesses that I made. And then you're going to put the R-Link probably just right here, and then you're going to posi tap in there, and all you have to do then is run your GPS cable probably under here, and then back out of the pillion seat over there. And that'll basically achieve what you're going to need to achieve for this. So I apologize that this won't look normal to you, but let's go ahead and stage it out the way you would see it, and then that way you can get an idea of what it'll look like on your side. Okay, let's get started. Now when you're pulling up on this, there's two grommets here and here. Those are going to come off with you if you're not careful. So you're going to lift up down here and just pull this back gently. And just make sure they're still there, because they sometimes drop down and you lose them. Your positive is right here, and the negative is right here. So here is a little small hex bit. Yep, this is a T25 for the positive. Loosen that up. And then it's a Phillips head for the negative. You're going to take your line like this. We're going to separate off this posi line, and you're going to run, might have to cut these a little bit, but your positive and your negative just like this. Then you're going to do is you're going to run this back behind here. There's a little slot right here. You can get this up in there. Actually, let's go the other way around. Again, separating that white one away, we're just going to run these down just like this. Then running this through. I actually like to utilize this little spot right up here. So what you can do is you can take this through here. You can run this, if you want to, up over here, or you can just come straight up like this. Okay. And you've got another fuse in here, it's hanging down, but now you can basically run this straight down here if you want to, quite easily. Now for the next part, but basically you're taking your white cord here. You can even trim this down if you really want to, quite a bit actually. You could probably trim it down to like 8 inches long and still have plenty of space left over. But you're going to be tapping into that red and blue right here. What you're doing is you're unscrewing this. You're then putting the red and blue inside of here, inside this little groove right there. Then you're just going down here and you're just turning this right into place. And you're going to get that on there. And when you do that, it basically taps into that. Now, posi taps are a little bit risky because over time it can corrode. Be super careful once you tap this. Don't move this a ton. But if you do it properly and just do it once and hit it the first time, you're going to be fine. What's happening here is the R-Link is always going to be getting power from these two leads that you've hooked into your battery. But what this is doing is this is telling the R-Link, don't pull power until you detect a switch power source activating, which is the end user pushing the keyless ignition or turning the key one click. That sends power to this, aka the brake light, which wakes the R-Link up and has it start pulling full power for boot up sequence, etc., and on like that. All right, let's proceed. You're going to utilize this Velcro tape. You're going to put it on one side and then peel this apart. The other side, probably here. You've got plenty of space. And then from there, once this is in place, like that, you can pretty much have it any way you want to. You're going to plug this piece right into here. That's going to be your waterproof connection. That's now sitting there. Now finally, you have your GPS module. So this one is going to plug in to here, and you're going to run this. You can put some 3M tape on this side as well. I would say the best place for it, if you can, is removing your rear luggage grid, exposing the rear subframe, running this underneath, and running it back to where, like, somewhere behind the pillion seat, somewhere out by the brake light, and sticking it down that way. So from that point on, you're going to follow the instructions to link your REVER account to this. Here's our iPhone. REVER's right there. The noise in the background is the bike booted up. So we have everything connected. I went ahead and avoided using the PDM60 for this actually. I'm using straight to the battery as the manufacturer intended. PDM60 is already pretty loaded up, so we're just going to leave that as is. So we have basically everything mocked up gently. So I used the switched line that's coming off the PDM60 right here. It's basically piggybacking off this gray line right here down to there. We've got the cable coming up, and then right there. And the GPS is actually magnetic, which is kind of nice. So you can, I'll have this running down through here, and we're going to run it up behind onto the side of the panniers when we're done, I think. So everything's plugged in. Let's see if we can get this to show up on our REVER app. Solid red with white. So from your profile, we're going to gear. Let's try this. I'm going to try to scan this. All right, so now we're going to click Get an RLink membership, because I do not have an authorization code. Oh, there we go. Cool. Yep. I gotta do this all offline. All right, so we just put our order in, and now our module has green, white, and a blinking red. So I assume that one is power, one is GPS, and then maybe one is ground or diagnostics mode. It's kind of where you are. I know this is a mess. It's gonna get cleaned up before we finish the installation today. Oh, we have our email, okay. So we're going to enter our subscription code. Sorry, I can't show that to you. Okay, registration is done. I don't really want to do, can I not do that? All right, so let's see what happens now if I close out of this. Whoop. Log back and sign back in, okay? Okay, so we've logged back in after they've asked us to. Just waiting for my profile to load. That's one thing about the REVER app is it really needs to be faster. So let's see, is there any detail here about my premium membership? Okay, so now this has changed. The start tracking page has changed to have no signal alerts off and a battery level. So I'm gonna pull around this and I'll be back to you guys after I've configured it.